Welcome back to Man Across New Horizons. I'm dear darling. I shall we see what's going on our lovely island of Fawnhollow today, where I don't know what we're going to talk about. You know what we should finally talk about? So we should finally talk about the fact that Birdo, Queen, yes, is in, or is coming to Mario Kart 8 or whatever. I think I spoke a little bit about it during one of our Happy in Paradise days, but I couldn't really speak more about it because, you know, we were doing Happy in Paradise customizations. In fact, as a very sort of limited subset, not really subset, but a limited amount of time. Well, I guess that is a subset of like the day, if you wanted to say, subset of a day distribution of time to be able to talk about these sort of things. So anyway, hello everyone. Right now in Fawnhallow at 6:12 p.m. on Tuesday, February 21st, 2023. Yeah, I mean, Birdo's coming to Mario Kart 8, and I'm like, yes, because the Mario Kart I played the most of is Mario Kart Wii, which if you work it out, sort of, that makes sense because that's a Mario Kart which came out when I was younger. But to be fair, I've actually played quite a lot of the Nintendo 64 version because I had some family friends who were older than me who had a Nintendo 64, and I played it a lot. By a lot, I was like super young. I was terrible at the game. I'm pretty sure I always came last. So, you know, it's a wonder that they were still playing with me, but, you know. I was somewhere of the age of 3 to 5 and I had essentially no idea what I was doing, to be perfectly honest, but I was having a great time, to be honest. They had a lot of like different Nintendo 64 games, all the classics. They had like Super Smash Bros, they had Pokemon Stadium. You know, despite the fact I was 3, I was actually kind of okay at Pokemon Stadium, not the battles, but the mini games. I was actually fine at that game. Mario Kart, utter trash, and Super Smash Bros, I think I was utter trash, but we didn't play that as much. But of course Birdo wasn't in that version. I didn't play much of a GameCube version because I didn't have a GameCube. The only person who had a GameCube was my neighbour back in like old house or something. Who cares? I don't speak with him anymore, to be perfectly honest. Is he doing well? Maybe. Who knows? Hopefully they're doing fine, you know. I don't have anything against him. We did actually have a falling out, which is, you know, basically why I stopped speaking to him. I don't even remember what the falling out was necessarily. I just remember, you know, it was just sort of like one of those manifest. I mean, we were both young. Like, I'm going to be honest, I was like primary school, I think, so somewhere from like 10 to 12ish. Primary school, early secondary school, where we were just like, no, I might have been primary school. I might have been 9 to 11. I can't remember. Anyway, you know how kids are these days. Sometimes you are just like mean to each other for no apparent reason. And it was a sort of like a bubbling over thing. Like, I seem to remember. It could have been my fault for all I know. I don't know. I was like 9 to 11. Who knows? And, you know, I admit my fault if it's the case. I just genuinely don't really remember why we ended up falling out. And then I never spoke with him. Anyway, it's a bit of a tangent, but he had a GameCube. But he didn't have Mario Kart. I don't even remember what GameCube games he did have. Now I think about it. Like, he had a GameCube, but I don't remember actually playing any games on his GameCube. We played a lot of stuff on my Wii. I remember that much, at the very least. And he gave me a lot of Pez candy. That's also like, all I remember. Which you might say is a bit of a strange thing to remember. But, you know, that's a conversation for another time. Anyway, hope he's doing well. Yeah, what was I going to say? Yeah, so I didn't have a GameCube growing up, and I didn't really know anyone who had a GameCube growing up. So I never really played the Double Dash Mario Kart. I played an okay amount of a DS version, mainly because of a Wii version. But when the Wii version came out, I was still in primary school. I think I was year 5 or something. Does that sound right? I remember I got it for Christmas. It was so sold out, like immediately everywhere. It was so hard to get a copy of Mario Kart. I remember this because I wanted one so badly, but I didn't know about the concept of like pre-ordering or like, you know, reserving these sort of things, etc., because I'm like 9, I've never bought any of these sort of things before, and of course my parents, they don't know much about video games, so they don't know either. But every single other time we've been, it's just like we've been to the shopping centre, I see a game I want, I'm like, can I buy this game? And they're like, oh, are you sure you want it? And I'm like, yes. And then I spend my pocket money on it or whatever that I've accrued over however many times, because I didn't really buy much, I'm going to be perfectly honest. It was only video games. But I remember I really wanted Mario Kart Wii so badly. Like I was watching videos about it, or you know, Wii Folder Josh or whatever his name was back in the day, or like all these Nintendo people, you know, covering the news, and I was like, I want to get it. And so then I remember on the day it was released, like we were like trying to go out and find it at different places. Like we went to Argos and like this game, like all these different areas, and it was like sold out. It might not have actually been on release day, but it was very close to release, and it was like sold out everywhere. Like obviously all these people had pre-ordered or whatever, and they booked it and like reserved it, and like I was like, oh no, I can't get it anywhere. And I was really sad. I remember going into, I think it was in Argos or maybe like a Woolworths or something, and seeing like there's a box with Mario Kart Wii, just in like my game section. Because if you don't know, Mario Kart Wii, it was one which came with like the Wii remote steering wheel, which is basically a piece of plastic to hold your Wii remote. I'm gonna be perfectly honest. And I was seeing it there, and it was like literally the only shop. We've been in quite a few shops just trying to find this game, and I saw it, and I ran out and grabbed it, and I was like, look, I found it. And then we took it to the front desk to be like, hey, you know, let's buy this Mario Kart Wii. And it's quite common what they often do is they don't put the video games in the boxes themselves, like out. Those are just for cover cases because people would steal the video games. So you take it to the front desk and either it's locked and they unlock it for you, or they actually have like the actual video game like hiding behind its like in a storeroom somewhere, and they go back and get it or whatever have you. And I remember we did that, and then I remember them telling me, we were like, oh, you know, sorry, that shouldn't have been there. We actually ran out of Mario Kart Wii copies, and it's been sold out. I remember being so disappointed. You know, I was so sad. You know, I want not much. I want much for not. No, what? I don't usually want much, but this is something I wanted a lot, and I just couldn't. Didn't get it, and I was so sad. And then, you know, that was a weekend or something, and I went to school the next day and came home, and then it was like my father got me Mario Kart Wii. I think it was my father. The story might just be entirely made up because again, my memory is quite hazy of it, but this is how I remember it. And he was like, oh, how did you do it? Because he went shopping, I think that day as well. And then he was like, oh, you know, I'll go check out like one of the stores again to try and be like, do you have this game? And then, you know, I remember he told me the story about it. It was like he went up to the shop clerk or whatever being like, do you have this game? And they were like, oh no, sorry, we don't have a game. And then one of the other like attendants who might have been like a manager or something was like, oh no, we actually do have one left. And then, you know, he bought it, and when he told me it was basically like, it seemed like the shop clerk was like really reluctant of letting that one go, kind of like, you know, I don't blame this person, you know, Mario Kart Wii was very hard to get your hands on, but maybe he was like trying to hold it for himself or themselves, I don't know who they were, trying to hold it for themselves and be like, oh, you know, there isn't any Mario Kart Wii copies left, and then, you know, on the end of the day be like, oh, no one bought this Mario Kart Wii copy, I'm gonna buy it for myself. I suppose now I'm off shift, but now I got it. I remember I was so excited. And anyway, I played the heck out of Mario Kart Wii. Like, unbelievably so. It's probably one of my most played games. Is that true? I mean, it genuinely might be. It's a thing whether we, of course, doesn't really track like your hours played. Or maybe it does, but, you know, I don't even know where my Wii is now, to be honest. It's like in a dusty old box somewhere. I played so much. Like, I played, like, I got, like, the gold trophies, like max stars on like every single Grand Prix. I think might not be true, maybe not all of them, but I think on most of them at least. I might have got bored at some point of doing that, but who knows? I don't remember off the top of my head. I remember, I think I beat like every expert time trial thing as well. I remember going on like YouTube videos for ages being like, oh, how do I beat this expert? Like, oh, what lines do they take? What shortcuts do I take? Who should I use? When should I use them? And whatever. And if you don't know, the Mario Kart Wii Meta is basically entirely dry Bowser and the funky bike, isn't it? With some rare exceptions where it's like on what's that? Like if you need an off-road bike, you're meant to use like Baby Daisy and like the Quacker or something. And then I don't know. I think sometimes you use Yoshi on the Mark bike, but I can't really remember. I think there's another time you use Daisy and the Mac bike, but I don't remember. No, I think that's if you're doing like super shortcuts or whatever. Anyway, oh yeah, you should definitely go watch. Is it Summoning Salt, that YouTube channel, who's got all like the Mario Kart Wii like shortcuts or whatever have you, and like the history of super shortcuts. It's very interesting. And yes, I did discover about them, I suppose, when we came out as well. That's how I got. That's how I beat the expert time trial, I believe, on Grumble Volcano, classic old. Or was it dry bones on the nano bike, immediately turn left, boost up to the hill, and then just drive around that hill 3 times and you get like a 17-second world record. Whoa. Anyway, that's fun. But yeah, I played a lot of Mario Kart Wii. And my go-to character, always Birdo. Birdo and the Mac bike, I believe. I might change it up a little bit. Like, I played a lot of different characters. You played a bit of Yoshi, you played a bit of Baby Luigi, played a bit of, I don't remember who else was in the game, to be perfectly honest, but I feel like Birdo was the one I always was like, you know, play Birdo. And then Birdo eventually just sort of became like my de facto character of choice whenever, you know, she ended up coming up in other games. Mario Party 8, you know. Actually, I think a lot of times I played Yoshi, but then I eventually started playing Birdo, you know. And I got those games around the same time, I think, maybe. I don't know off the top of my head. So yeah. But basically, any single time there's a Mario game and it's like I can choose a character, I'm gonna play Birdo. It's a shame that Birdo, you know, was not great in Super Mario Strikers for the Wii. I don't know about the 3DS version or the Switch version. Never played him. She's just so slow, and speed is king, unfortunately, in that game. From what I recall, I don't know if the meta's different, but basically everyone played like dry bones, I think. And you know, the Dry Bones was quite unstoppable in many different ways and factors. But yeah, hello Raymond. I don't really know what I was going to say, promise, to be perfectly honest. I don't even know if I had a follow-up, if I'm even more honest. I just sort of... That was it. Is that the end of my sentence? No. But yeah. What I was going to say, I don't know, Birdo, she was just my go-to character. And, you know, I can't tell you how disappointed I was, the fact that she wasn't actually in Mario Kart 8 or for the Switch or whatever. Because you know how Nintendo are, you know, they always have a standard characters, you know, from Mario, Luigi, Peach, Yoshi, even sometimes if it's an extended cast, you start getting like Bowser, Waluigi, Wario, Daisy, Toad, etc, etc, etc. But, you know, when you get to like, you know, after you get out of the extended cast, you get into like the miscellaneous cast, they have the most random characters, you know. It's like in Super Mario, not Super Mario, Super Mario Party, it's like Boom Boom and Pom Pom or whatever their names are, like the characters extra characters you can play, and it's like, what are these? Like, I mean, probably for someone's favorite characters, I'm like, these are so random. Like, obviously you're meant to, like, they put them in this game because it's like, oh, you know, Super Mario 3D Land or something came out recently, and it's like, oh, that's how, you know, we want to sort of advertise this game, or be like, you know, have cross references with this game, and it's like all super cool and, you know, shiny and all that stuff. But it's just like they have such random choices. Like, even now I think about it, like Mario Kart 8, the choices are so random, but not outrageously random, I suppose, now I think about it. But the two extra characters you can unlock were Blooper and Hammerbro, from what I recall. Like, you couldn't even play as Goomba, from what I remember, which is just bizarre. You know, Goomba's kind of like the titular, or maybe you could play as Goomba. It's been a while since I played Mario Party 8. So, generally, I don't remember all that well, but they have such random characters here and there. I know, I always get a little bit disappointed when, like, you know, a character I want to play is not choosable as an option. You know, but these characters often get the NPC treatments, you know. If your favourite character is Birdo, Toadette, Koopa Trooper, or whatever, if you know you're one of the Bowser minion stands or whatever, you know, you're often relegated to an NPC. You don't often have a representative when it comes to actually playable characters, which is a bit of a shame, but, you know, so be it. But, I don't know, the Mario series really love putting in the most random characters, it feels like. But now, you know, the extended cast is expanding. Rosalina is now, despite the fact that, you know, there's only been like 2 Mario Galaxy games, she is, for some reason, in like every single, like, Mario Party game in existence. Not that I have anything against it. I think she is like an interesting, you know, she's a different princess at the very least. So, you know, why not? Why not expand the cast? It's just sort of surprising how popular she ends up being. But, oh yeah, they always put the most random characters in, especially with Mario Kart, because I can't believe it. I forgot about this entirely. Mario Kart 8 has both Metal Mario and Pink Gold Peach or something as characters in that game. And it's like, what? These characters got in over Birdo, got in over the Baby Peach and Baby Daisy. No, wait, I think Baby Peach is in him. I think Baby Daisy's not. I don't remember. I don't even know. It's like Baby Mario, Baby Luigi. Oh no, okay. I was going to be like, what game are they even from? And I was like, I think going from Partners in Time first. But now I think about it, I think going Yoshi's Story first. I don't know if one of the sequels for Yoshi's Story has Baby Peach or Baby Daisy in. I don't really remember, I'm going to be honest. I like Nintendo, but I don't know all these Mario games off the top of my head. But still, it's like, I can't believe these characters got in before some other characters. Anyway, but it seems like they're expanding the roster anyway, because now you get stuff like Link, Animal Crossing Villager, and Isabelle. Isabelle is basically my replacement for Birdo until Birdo's come along, and now Isabelle is going to be like, sorry, I don't want to play with you anymore. I've also not played Mario Kart 8 for like years now, I think, but it was always a very good go-to party game. And of course, I was always very good at it because I try hard at it so much, like, to beat the time charts and that sort of thing. I knew like every shortcut. I knew all the like, secrets. Like, I knew how to dodge a blue shell with a mushroom. That's super easy. I mean, it's like the levels of difficulty of dodging blue shells, you know, dodging with a star is super easy. Well, I don't know how or if actually you got a star in first place, but it can happen. Mega Mushroom, also fine, you know. Just regular mushroom, pretty difficult. Or golden mushrooms, not too difficult. Red mushroom, kind of difficult. And then the biggest brain thing you can do is just doing it off a boost. A drift boost, which I think is possible. I think it depends on what car or bike you have or something. Like, you had to have one with a big boost stat or something. I don't really remember. It's been ages. Anyway, I don't think you can do it anymore in Mario Kart 8, which is probably good. You know, they got rid of it and gave you the boombox instead. So, I don't know. Boombox is pretty cool. Anyway, I have a lot of latent Mario Kart ability from the years I spent playing Mario Kart 8. And I remember how, you know, like, we had quite a few people who played Mario Kart 8. Not Mario Kart 8, sorry, Mario Kart Wii back in primary school. And I remember how, like, amazingly, how people were like, whoa, when I was just like, I unlocked me outfit B. Because to get me outfit B, you had to defeat, like, all the, not the expert, but, like, all the normal, I think, time trial times. I think for all the courses, right? Anyway, I unlocked everything in Mario Kart Wii from what I can recall. Maybe that's not true. I don't know. But yeah, Mario Kart Wii. Anyway, Birdo's back. Woo! I don't know if there's been like a trailer for it. Hold on. You know, maybe there's a trailer for it. Let's look it up. We got how many minutes? We got like 5 minutes. That's not for a trailer. I can't imagine if a trailer for it is going to be longer than 5 minutes. I'll be, you know, I'm going to have a talk to our marketing department and Nintendo be like, hey, this is too long. How's anyone meant to pay attention to this in the first place? I don't know how I missed the announcement as well, though. I didn't even know that the next part of the booster pack even came out. I thought we were on still number 1 or number 2. Mario Kart 8 booster pack 4. Or maybe it was in the most recent. Okay, it was probably in the most recent Nintendo Direct, which I've not watched, so I don't know. Wave 4 races in. Let's see what tracks are in here. You can react along. I'm watching on double speed because that's just who I am. I don't know what on earth this track is. Yoshi's Island. Looks cute. Oh, and all the different colour Yoshis. No, wait. Birdo. Whoop whoop. Wait, different colour Birdos? What on earth? I didn't even know there were different colour Birdos, but, you know, why not? If it's different colour Yoshis, why not different colour Birdos? That's just life. That's not life, that doesn't make any sense, but... It's only got 1 course? That's probably not true. True, having Birdo back is the best surprise. Hope they add more in the future, like Funky Kong, Pauline, or Luma. Actually, Pauline would be an interesting one. I feel like Pauline is someone where you can try and turn into another Rosalina, right? Alright, Birdo's back, baby. I don't really know what else I'd say about this. So I guess I'm going to round off this episode over here. Now, here's a question. What am I going to title this episode? Birdo? I don't really talk about Birdo. I just kind of talked about Mario Kart. I guess I'll title it Mario Kart. Anyway, if you have been watching, thank you very much. It's been Animal Crossing New Horizons. I've been Dear Darling. Likes, comments, subscription, shares are greatly appreciated. Twitter, Discord down below. Hope you see each other again. But for now, it's our farewell. So until next time, bye-bye for now.